campers! Today we're going to be watching the Vulcan's video on reality benders. Is that like a water bender? This was recorded live, so you might see chat pop up in the corner. So chat is down in the corner. You guys can still be seen. I'm not putting you on my wings, that's weird. I don't need to give the creeps more inspiration, you know? I don't know what I'm in for here. The model still looks too big, but okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Miller, and today we're not going to be covering a specific anomaly, but rather a broader type of anomaly that we at the Foundation have observed over the years. This anomaly has many names, but the most common term adopted by Foundation researchers is reality bender or type greens by GOC operatives.
I absolutely love that art. I really do.
The following document, seized by Mobile Task Force Delta 5, is part of a larger case file on the Global Occult Coalition. This section is an excerpt from a publication entitled Physics Division Field Manual 13, Special Circumstances, Humanoid Threat Entities.
Okay.
Type Green, Reality Bender. Introduction. Reality benders, type greens, have a certain mystique among GOC operatives. Some operatives even argue that it is impossible to terminate a type green, and that it is suicide to even try. The kill record of our organization says otherwise. The key to terminating type green entities lies in finding and taking advantage of their few weaknesses. In 95% of cases, greens cannot predict the future and can be taken by surprise, have limited range and cannot affect what they cannot perceive. They cannot impose their will on anything if they have no will to impose, and have human foibles that can be manipulated emotionally and or rationally.
That was a lot of info in like 3 sentences. So these things are not human, obviously. And why does the Foundation want them dead?
Sequence. 99% of type greens undergo the following sequence of psychological changes as their powers progress. Phase 1. Denial. The subject refuses to acknowledge their ability to warp reality. The type green will attempt to rationalize away their abilities by various means. In some cases, the type green will end here. Their ability will be self-suppressed, and they will not proceed. However, most then proceed to Phase 2, experimentation. The subject acknowledges their abilities and begins to test the limits of their powers. In general, type greens tend to experiment in one of 2 patterns, slowly, methodically, and carefully, advancing a small amount at a time, or in a small number of sudden jumps. In any case, the subject will generally remain in this mode for some time before proceeding to Phase 3, stability.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what he's talking about here. This is breaking my brain.
The subject reaches the limit of their powers and determines the boundaries of their abilities. The type green achieves control over their reality shifts and can manipulate them as necessary. More importantly, they can choose not to utilize their abilities if needed. Phase 3 is normally characterized by attempts to live a normal life. The subject will continue in normal routines.
Is he saying that they're human, that can bend reality, and not the creepy skull thing on the screen? Is it just someone who happens to be able to bend reality?
And aside from necessary precautions to prevent losing control, will utilize their abilities only in private and only in a manner that will not harm others. These type greens may be classified as threat level 1, monitor, do not engage, but should be monitored closely due to the risk of proceeding to Phase 4, the child god.
So is that when the ego takes over?
Sadly, the majority of type greens will eventually progress to Phase 4. During this phase, the reality bender becomes obsessed with the power it possesses and will attempt to utilize it for personal gain at the cost of others. This phase is marked by reduced empathy for other humans, inability to accept personal faults, and increased megalomania.
Yeah, so the ego takes over. Overconfidence, selfishness, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, Golf. I guess you could imagine yourself just getting reality bending powers and this is the phase you'll go through. That's kind of how I'm taking it, at least. I don't know what's up with the creepy skull dude, but I dig the vibe.
Although warning signs are numerous, the key aspect of a Phase 4 is the use of their abilities to manipulate other humans.
Oh, great.
Teenage and young adult type greens will typically use their abilities for sexual purposes, while children will attempt to make strangers their friends.
Both sound like not great things.
Older adults may attempt to manipulate others for love or financial gain. Although a few cases have resulted where the type green then reverts to Phase 3, 99% of them will remain at Phase 4 until eliminated. For this reason, Phase 4 type greens should be considered Threat Level 5, immediate threat, and eliminated immediately, as they represent a major threat to all aspects of the fivefold mission. Termination.
It makes sense.
Any attempt to eliminate a type green must take into consideration the 3 factors for dynamic entry in close-quarter battle.
I'm sure terminating them is very, very difficult. Wait, are they not like rated? Like they're not a Euclid or a whatever it's called, a Thaumiel. They're just reality benders. They're someone with superpowers with all the flaws of a human. That's not a great combo. It's really not.
Speed. Type greens are able to quickly react to any threat. In order to ensure a successful kill, the operation must take no longer than 1 second from initiation of hostiles to termination of subject. This is the average time it takes for a human being to reflexively react to an unexpected threat or event.
Okay, so technically they still have a human's like reflexes, like their speed and their judgment and stuff.
Surprise. Type greens are able to quickly adapt to known threats. It is recommended that a bluff play be carried out. An overt threat is to be presented to the subject for them to fixate upon, while the actual kill is carried out from an unexpected direction.
So distraction.
Violence of action. The kill method chosen to eliminate a type green must ensure a successful termination on the first shot. Sniper weapons should utilize large caliber rounds, preferably hollow point for maximum expansion, or armor piercing as needed.
Oh god.
Firearms are, of course, a secondary kill choice. Explosives are recommended, but may not be usable due to collateral damage risks. If firearms must be used, multiple shooters should be present, and all should aim for headshots if possible, or center torso shots if necessary.
So basically they want to one-shot kill these things. We're power scaling reality benders now? Yeah, apparently we are. I wonder if they're ranked, like the hunters in solo leveling, or the 5 stars in gachas with like S rank, or A rank, or D rank. The gacha brain rot is real, guys.
Subject Alpha, Alice, was a 90-year-old Caucasian woman living on a farmhouse in Town A, Anytown, USA. Alice first came to the attention of the GOC following reports of ghosts haunting the fields outside her town. Initial covert investigation was able to rule out the presence of actual spectral entities through Veritas scanning. Further investigation was approved. A GOC special observer, Oscar, proceeded to Anytown with a full support team, posing as the cast and crew of the reality television program Ghost Finders Incorporated.
That's such a cringy name, but I would probably be watching that show. Considering I watch Ghost Adventures and Twin Paranormal and Project Fear and all of the others, I would definitely be watching something called Ghost Finders Incorporated.
Subject Alice was discovered to be living alone with 2 cats. She had been widowed for 3 years prior, and her children all lived out of state. Subject Alice proved personable and charming, and often engaged the operatives in conversation and provided them with tea and home-baked cookies.
How can you be sus of her? She's just lonely. Her partner died, her kids all moved away, she's just got her 2 cats, she's giving you snacks and drinks. She's fine.
Oscar soon determined over the course of the next few days that Alice was the proximal cause of the apparitions, as they only appeared when Alice was either asleep or not present. Upon engaging her in further conversation, he discovered that she was a lapsed Catholic, now agnostic, who expressed a desire to believe in an afterlife but was not satisfied by her faith. Agent Oscar theorized that Alice was a subconscious type green who was expressing her grief over her husband's death by manifesting apparitions of his ghost.
Man, that's so sad. Like, they're presenting these reality benders as these dangerous, horrible things, and here I am feeling brokenhearted for this woman.
Following a lengthy philosophical discussion, including a discussion of Pascal's wager, the apparitions increased in strength and clarity, allowing Oscar to obtain a clear photograph of the entity. He then presented the photograph to Alice for identification. To his surprise, Alice identified the photograph not as her husband, but as Subject B, Bob, a young man with whom she had been acquainted during her younger years.
What?
Alice
Did she not miss her husband that much? She was missing Bob more? Tell me more.
claimed that she and Bob had been romantically involved in the early 1940s, but their relationship had been suspended when Bob was drafted into the Second World War.
Oh no.
During that war, Alice made the acquaintance of her eventual husband, a factory worker who had been classified 4F due to a leg injury caused by an automobile accident. 2 days after Bob received her Dear John letter, he was killed in Normandy during Operation Overlord.
I mean, just because they have a tragic backstory doesn't mean they're not potentially dangerous. I understand that, Leon. I do, but they're making me care about this random person. And I get attached to people.
Alice's heightened emotional state caused the apparitions to increase in frequency and intensity,
Yeah, no shit. You brought up her trauma. What did you expect?
including physical manifestations. After a GOC operative was injured by a Luger bullet fired by one of the ghosts, Central ordered termination of the subject.
No.
Operative Oscar requested permission to attempt a non-lethal soft kill, citing second mission concealment concerns. Permission was granted.
Why couldn't they talk to her about what was happening? Maybe she could have stopped it. She's just a lonely old woman. Think of the cats.
No record remains of Operative Oscar's subsequent conversation with Subject Alice, but it convinced the subject to manifest an apparition of Bob that night, the first time that she had manifested an apparition in her own presence. After receiving emotional closure with what she believed was the spectral entity of her old lover, the apparitions ceased manifesting entirely.
Wow.
Subject died 3 nights later in her sleep of natural causes. No further paranormal phenomena have occurred in the area since Subject Alice's death. Operative Oscar was commended for his actions.
I like that ending. It's sad she died, but at least she got closure and they didn't end up killing her.
Afternoon, everyone. Have a seat, get a cup of coffee and a muffin.
Guys, he just gave me permission to drink my coffee.
Also, a reminder, the seminar rooms are a weapons-free zone. Please make sure you've surrendered your weapons at the reception desk.
Who brings weapons to a seminar? What?
I know, it's bullshit. But the last thing I need is an 05 complaining because one of you was walking around the blue zones with your piece. Everyone good? Cool.
Wow.
Today's seminar is a subject near and dear to my heart. Reality benders. Type Greens, Mary Sues, Bixpies, Shapers, Wizards, Gods, Devils, Outside Observers, call them what you will. These are the guys that change reality based on perception and willpower. I've made a career out of both containing and killing these guys. You're here to get certified to do the same thing. Want to know my secret? We'll get to that later. First of all, I want you to take a look at the doors to the seminar room. Notice something about them? Look again. What doors?
Is this man a reality bender? I can sense it.
Yes, the doors are gone. Take a closer look if you want. Touch them. They're not there. The doors have literally disappeared. But that's okay, right? You can still get out the windows if you want. Except there's one small problem. There aren't any windows in this room either, are there? All the windows are gone. There's nothing but 4 blank walls, a ceiling, and a floor. No way out. But how did you get in?
What the hell?
Starting to freak out a bit? Don't worry. Just take a deep breath. You're gonna be all right. Just a bit of a change to the way the room's set up. It's not like anything worse is happening. I mean, it could be worse, right? At least you're safe in here. It's not like the desks are coming alive to kill you now, is it? Oh, wait. Yes, they are. The desks are going to kill you. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna survive? The goddamn room is alive and going to eat you. Watch for those desks, they've got teeth. Get the away from there now. You want to live? You're gonna have to fight. Don't try to deny it, you motherfuckers. This is real. This is happening. This is a reality bend, and you're gonna die unless you can fight it now.
Okay, what the fuck? Before this segment started, I thought, wow, this is something I would like to listen to in a seminar. Like, I love paranormal shit, and if there was a seminar on them, you bet your ass I would be there. But now I'm very glad that I'm not in anything like this.
Oh, I see. A real tough guy, huh? What the are you gonna do with that 9mm? Is that gun really gonna do anything against a reality bender? I can turn your goddamn bullets into sand. I can turn your eyes into jello. I can turn your gun into a f***ing bagel. Now put that damn gun down and lie the down on the ground, you nugget. I am a living god, and you are nothing but a insect.
I have to give props to the voice acting, though. That is insane.
What do I want? What do I want? What the shit do I need from a f***ing turd like you? I don't want anything that you can give me except to be my plaything, and that's all you are gonna be. You're gonna be nothing but toys in front of this god king for all eternity. There is no escape, no respite. You live when I say live. You die only if I allow it. There is nothing left but my imagination, and you are all figments of it.
Wow.
All right. Hit the lights. Everyone breathe in and out. Deep. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. You feeling better now? Let me tell you what just happened. Each and every one of you has just had a bad trip. All of the food on that back table was laced with a powerful hallucinogen. It's my own personal recipe. In addition to hallucinations, it renders one very susceptible to suggestion. Combined with some simple hypnosis and some special effects trickery, the end result is as close as we can get to showing you what a reality bender's attack feels like. The support staff are pumping in an aerosolized counteragent into the air vents as we speak. It's gonna feel like shit in a moment. You'll find barf bags under your chairs. Take a moment to let it all out.
That is wild. And for that just to be like a hallucination, holy shit, that's terrifying.
I want you to reflect back on that moment when you realized what was happening. Do you remember that feeling of helplessness? Do you remember what it felt like to realize the reality no longer existed, and you were nothing but toys for a hostile will that controlled everything? Remember that and hold on to it the first time you're about to go up against a reality bender. If you ever think that maybe you can contain them, or maybe they can be reasoned with, remember what it felt like when you were tripping balls and nothing was real. Then kill that motherfucker before he knows you're even there. You're all certified now. Class dismissed.
Holy shit. Wow. That was wild.
I would like to give a special thank you.
Okay, I really enjoyed that. That was very immersive, and it made me care about the characters in it. Also, never go to a seminar by that guy, unless you want trauma. Thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I stream most nights on Twitch after 2 a.m. CST, doing horror and gacha content. Let's be honest, I do more gacha than horror, but it's what it is. And don't forget to join the community Discord. Links in the description.